What's your name and where you're from?
My name is Iain Griffiths and I am originally from Liverpool but I now reside in Warrington, and I train out of a gym called Ace Performance run by Adam Corlett.
Race this weekend?
Raced yesterday, came off the back of a 6-week calf injury, shin splint. Hadn't ran for 6 weeks, got through it, and wasn't the time that I wanted. Put about 7 minutes on the time that I did in November, but a lot of positives to come out of the race.
Yeah. So how many races have you done?
So I've done 4 since October last year.
Yeah.
Trained for about a year before I did my first one. Got into it, got the bug. Done a couple of abroad ones now as well. Off to Vienna in 4 weeks' time as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what actually got you into Hyrox in the first place?
Well, it was your wife. So I was watching Fran on LinkedIn. We've been friends on LinkedIn for quite a while, and I was like, "What is this Hyrox? How do I get into it?"
Yeah.
And then there was just one day, a guy, Adam, who runs the gym where my business premises is. 2 doors down, he was setting up a gym, so I started talking to him and was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm setting up a Hyrox gym." So I was like, "Wow, all these stars have aligned here." So started attending. Thought I was pretty fit, but when you get into sort of this type of training, there's being fit and going doing push-pull legs, and then there's this type of training.
So is that what you did before? It was a previous
yeah,
training?
It was just sort of body part splits in the gym, bit of cardio, bit of running. Thought I was relatively fit, and then I did my first Hyrox session and sat on a bench in the corner for about 10 minutes. Didn't know where I was at the end of it.
And you trained for years though before you started doing Hyrox?
Yeah, and when the children came along and stuff like that, I was kind of whenever you have. Life gets in the way of training, so I dropped off a little bit, put a lot of weight on, well not a lot, but put a stone or 2 more than I should have had.
Right.
Running businesses,
Yeah.
Life gets in the way. But now since I've started doing this over the last 18 months, and I was training probably about 2 years before that, kind of got the bug now, and it's I can't. It's a lifestyle change now.
So when that's a lifestyle change and you put your weight on before, was that just from then stopping training altogether?
Yeah, well, it's fits and starts really. So you'll have spells where you go to the gym and you'll do a few months, and then things get in the way and you stop, and then you're starting again from ground zero again, I suppose. But the main thing about this in our community, and it is a community, and the etymology of community is common unity, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a WhatsApp group and we're all in the WhatsApp group. I've just been, I've come back up here. I was here at 7:30 this morning, left my house at 7:15, just to come and shout for the rest of the guys because it's their turn today.
Yeah, I think there's as many people spectating here as there is people actually racing here now. The spectator side of things is definitely blown up loads, and so many people wanting to watch each other.
Yeah, and I mean, I sort of I do every lunge with the people who are doing it. I actually, and every sort of wall ball that they're doing, I'm like, it's like I'm supporting my favourite football team or something. I'm really invested in it. Yeah.
So the one you've got coming up in Vienna, solos?
Yeah,
doubles?
solos, European Championships, Open Championships, So it's a nice little bit of a holiday. My girlfriend Rachel, shout out Rachel, she does bodybuilding, so totally different sport, just as taxing, just as sort of as much dedication that goes into it, especially when she's doing those cuts and getting down to stage weight and stuff like that. So we're having a little bit of a holiday as well, and there'll be a bit of a pit of despair for an hour.
So what you're hoping to get from the race, is anything in particular, or is it?
Well, I've got a bit of a training block to do now. That's the realisations coming off that injury and doing the race yesterday. My endurance, my engine has dropped quite considerably. Although I was doing a lot of ski ergs, a lot of assault bike, a lot of rowing. It can't emulate running. No. And it just can't. So I've got a bit of a training block. I'm back in tomorrow, back to the gym tomorrow, light session Hyrox, and I'll be having a chat with Adam at Ace Performance Gym tomorrow about the plan of what I need to do to get up to speed again.
So you've done a lot of races, you also got injured. Do you think the injury was from overtraining? Because that's really common in Hyrox.
No, the injury was from a hard half marathon 2 weeks before Christmas.
Okay.
My friend Emma was doing a half marathon. I'd already done one in September, so I said I'll jump on that with you. and I went hard on it, and I got a 1 hour 30 minute time, which is quite quick.
Excellent.
Yeah,
it's really good.
So it was. There was the gym Christmas party was an hour after so I didn't stretch. I just went straight to a Christmas party. So it's my own fault. It's more about mobility. And look, I'm coming up to 42nd birthday now, so you've got to take that into consideration when you're training at a bit more of a riper age. You've got ice baths.
You don't recover. You'll never recover as quick from injuries.
No.
Never recover from
But in our heads, we still think we're 17. But the body isn't anymore.
And I think that is why so many people in Hyrox do end up picking up injuries, because they go in too hard, too often, and not letting the body have a chance to recover. And especially when it's a sport when pretty much every age is doing it.
Well, the best thing I bought recently was a foam roller. So cheap off Amazon, and if we're watching a bit of telly in the night, we just have it in the corner of the room. I get out on the rug in front of the fire and just sort of
get your IT band, put yourself through some pain.
I've even started doing yoga. Bits of yoga as well.
So what's a normal week for you then, training wise and recovery wise?
Training wise, I do sort of free classes.
Hyrox classes.
Well, Hyrox Tabata, so it's not Tabata's more cardio, isn't it? It's not as sort of taxing in a sense that you're pushing sleds and for any prolonged
more
period of time.
Stuff
So it's more for the engine building, the Tabata. And then I'll do if I'm fit, I'll do a track session, which is sort of maybe 400 meters times 16 with a 60-second rest, or a 1K times 6 with a 90 seconds rest, some sort of speed work, and then a long slow run on a Sunday. Usually have like a day off during the week as well.
So you said about owning your own business. How do you fit your training in around?
So my business is marquee hire, so it's it's quite seasonal. So at this time of year, I can get my training in all the time. During the summertime, I have to sort of pick and choose what I do, because there'll be days where I'm either too exhausted to train, or I just haven't got the time. Last summer I got through it and I did well, to keep going. And it's only really 3 or 4 months of the year where it's full on. And then the rest of the year I'm all right. So I mean, look, we're not professionals at this, are we? Wouldn't it be great if all we had to do was train, recover, and eat your food, and sleep? But that's not the case, and we don't get paid for this.
There's a lot of levels to Hyrox and lots of different people doing it, but that's what makes it so exciting. And the fact that you can compete in the age groups, it gives you that opportunity to push on and
absolutely, and it just brings people together. Look, I would never have known you two guys if and be doing this now if it wasn't for this sport.
It's the community at Hyrox sort of different level, I think.
And you can tell as well, every sort of one that you go to, it seems to be selling out more and more. You can't even get a wristband for a spectator today. It shows the sport's going to be around for a long time, and I hope it is. I hope it is, just for the.
It's here to stay. It's here to stay. And I think there'll just be more and more companies who set up something similar and put on more sport events.
Absolutely.
I think the demand is there for it.
Even Joshua, my partner's son, he's 7 years old. He's come to watch a couple with me, and he's like, "When can I do one?" Do you know what I mean? So the next generation, bring them along to watch, because the kids enjoy it, and it's no better feeling than crossing that line and having your friends around you.
What does the future hold?
Big audacious goals that I shared with Fran on Instagram the other day, and I do want a podium at some point, whether it's this year, next year. I've got a lot of work to do before I get to that point. I don't think it's definitely achievable at some point, but what I have to do and I must do is enjoy the training blocks a bit more, and realise that the times will look after themselves on the track. And that's more of coming here to do the event is more of a celebration of the fitness that you've just done in the training block. I think I've got a little bit giddy because I've been get to these races, and it's all the fun part of it.
Adrenaline and everything kicks in.
But it's when you're running on that track in the cold, that's when it matters most, isn't it? And getting over there, and so
What's the biggest mistake you've made in a race so far?
I do it every time. Did it yesterday. Go out too fast. Everyone does that. Everyone does it. I've done it on simulators. I've done it on the track. I did it yesterday. In fact,
when are you going to learn?
Well, do we ever learn? Yeah, I did. Last time in November when I came here, I was much more reserved and yeah, you know. PB, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so when you
held back,
when I
held back, I got a PB. So
lessons to be learned, guys.
So yeah, but I think we all do that, don't we? We've all been guilty of it, and but yeah,
we all will again.
Yeah.
But as you can see from that, when you do hold back and get your pacing right, that's when you're going to do the best.
You know, everything's a learning curve, isn't it? You know, and you just don't look at the sort of. Yesterday, I came off. I was disappointed for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I was just like, do you know what? It's not going to affect my life in any way, shape or form. And Adam, the guy who trains me, Adam call it, he's so good. He's a seasoned sort of sportsman, if you like. And he said, do not attach your time, your happiness to a time in a sporting event. You can't do that. Yeah. You know, your family's your happiness, your friends are your happiness. A time doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't, and he's right. And as soon as he said that to me, I started to enjoy it much more. Yeah. Hello, my name's Ian, and I'm at Hyrox Manchester, and I absolutely died on my arse yesterday.